what I have with me today is a Biophytum sensitivum. This is closely related to the Mimosa pudica. It's commonly known as a sensitive plant. And the reason why it's called a sensitive plant is because if you was to touch the leaves, which I'm going to do here, they will slowly start closing up. Now the Biophytum is not as quick as the Mimosa pudica, but I think this one will really work well with the terrarium that I'm going to work with. So before I start planting up my terrarium, I want to describe the glassware that I've got. I really like this glassware. It looks like a dinosaur egg. Most people say it looks like a bullet. Other people think it looks like, well, I'll let you guess. I think it works really well because it's a palm tree. It's going to have many years to grow into that because of the height. The step-by-step process in creating your terrarium is washed up gravel. This is just normal gravel. It doesn't have to be fancy, and this will go at the bottom of your terrarium, so that's where the water will seep through. And you can lift the terrarium up and see if there's any condensation or a little bit of water. You don't want to see a puddle. The next step will be your moss. I have sphagnum moss that will help soak up excess moisture so it penetrates through the soil, feeding the roots. The next step is your charcoal, activated charcoal. Sprinkle a bit of that on top. This will help get rid of stagnant water. And then obviously I have my soil. This is my own mix. It's just good quality multi-purpose, and it has orchid bark and perlite mixed in there to help with the drainage. The next step would be your top dressing. I have moss on a bit of wood that's been grown on there, a bit of driftwood, some lava rock, and some really cool dome moss, which is like a clumpy bit of moss, and it works really well as a top dress. So let's get started now on creating our terrarium. So we're going to remove the top of the terrarium and place that in a safe place where it won't get smashed. And we're going to start placing over here the stones, which is to drainage. Most people say you need like an inch thick. Honestly, you don't need that much, just enough to cover the bottom. And you want to place this in gently. You don't really want too much, and you don't want to just chuck it in because you don't want to damage your glassware. I think I can get away with a little bit more. Because don't forget, we've got to think about the other layers. There you go, that should be enough there. The next step is the moss. This will help stop the soil leaching within the layers, so you get that neat layering. And you want to make sure you work around, because that's what you're going to be seeing, is the outer part. So just enough, just to cover the edging, so you've got that neat lines when you see your layering. And that should be enough activated charcoal, which will also help deter the stagnant water. It will help prevent it. And you just need enough so it looks like salt and pepper on your chips. Don't need that much. If you add too much, it's going to ruin the pH levels in your soil, and you really don't need that. My sensitivum plant, I'm going to gently take it out of its old terracotta pot, which is quite nice, and I'm going to reuse that. And I'm just going to get rid of some of that old soil just to clean it up a little bit, to see what the roots are like. I'm going to place my sensitive plant at the bottom. There you go, I think that works really well. Now this is the fun part, my own compost mix. I'm going to use a spoon here, and I'm just going to work around the terrarium in 3 piles like I've done here, and I'm just going to use the end and distribute all that soil. There you are, you can see the layers working well there. The fun part will be the decorative stuff. So I haven't really got that much decorative. I think it would look too much if I had a bit of everything in there. So I think I will add a bit more fancy gravel. So I'm going to do 1 spoonful of fancy gravel, or natural gravel. But I always think natural's better. There you are. I'm going to turn it around and add some dome moss. I love this moss. I think it works really well. It's such a good seller in my workplace. Look at it. It's just a clump. You don't need that much. So I'm going to put a bit here, and maybe some at the front. And I'm going to place that whole bit there. I hope it's not too much. Look at that. It looks so snug. That looks really cool. I like that. And I think I'm going to add 1 bit of rock, I reckon. Maybe add it just there. You know what, I'm going to add the other one in there. Stuff it. There you go. And then perhaps the driftwood. Oh, looks so cool. I like it. There you go. I've left this bit of moss grown wood. I think I might add some of that in there actually. I might move that just there and just maybe just add it there. Yeah, that works alright. Oh, that actually works alright. See, you can't go wrong with natural gravel. It really helps create its own natural habitat. And give it a gentle tap. This will activate the charcoal and the layering and help the roots get established. There you go. That's all I'm going to add to that, and let gravity do the rest. I think that's quite decent. And now the final part. This is the part that I get very excited in. This is going to be the last time I open the lid. I'm placing the lid on. Voila. Look at that. That is a very cool egg terrarium. And you can enjoy all sides of this terrarium. You can have the natural moss on the wood with a natural bit of driftwood, or you can have it with just gravel, or with just a dome moss. You can turn it any way you want, but eventually it will establish its own little ecosystem. It will start raining on itself with the condensation building up on the glass, and I won't really have to water it that much. So it's been 24 hours later, and I'm just going to have a look at the terrarium. We can see here there are some condensation on the glass, which indicates that it's got its own microclimate, so it's raining on itself, which is good. There is I'm going to take the lid off. There is a little air escape here. Oh look, see how it's dripping? That's a good sign. I won't have to water as much, and it'll just do its own thing. So I'm really happy with that. Seems to be thriving okay at the moment. I'm just let it do its own thing. What you want to do is place it in a very bright north-facing window or direct morning light. That'll be enough for it. It doesn't need direct all throughout the day. It just needs some sort of light source so it can use that brightness as energy to grow and then look after itself.